Hello, this is Mrs. Brown, and today we're going to talk about subtracting integers. Now, when you have something like 5 minus 2, you have 5 something, you lose 2 of it, you know you're left with positive 3. What I want to show you is actually if you've mastered the addition rules for integers, you don't have to memorize a new set of rules for subtracting, because subtracting a positive 2 is the same as adding a negative 2. So instead of minus 2, I can think of this as plus negative 2. Well, if I have 5 plus negative 2, remember our addition rules, they're opposite signs, so I really subtract. It's 5 minus 2, and I have 5 positives and 2 negatives, so there's more positives. My answer is positive. If I look at this one, I flipped it, so the 2 comes first. Well, 2 minus 5 means that I'm in the hole. I'm negative. That actually comes out to negative 3. But again, I can think of it as 2 plus instead of minus positive 5, adding negative 5. They're different signs. These are my rules for addition. So I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. I've got 5 negatives and 2 positives, so it comes out to negative 3. You don't have to memorize a new set of rules if you can convert this to a addition problem from a subtraction problem. The advantage is we don't have a commutative property of subtraction, because if I change the order of subtraction, it changes the answer, in this case from positive to negative. But if I use the addition sign, then I can change order, because negative 2 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus negative 2. So it does have advantages too when you're trying to switch stuff around, but it just makes it so you're not memorizing another set of rules. So if I look at this, negative 5 minus 2, I am taking negative 5, subtracted a positive 2. I can change this, instead of that minus sign, I can make it plus a negative 2. Now think of my addition rules. I have 2 negatives, so I add like normal. Negative 5 and negative 2, so 5 plus 2 is 7, so it's just going to be negative 7. When I look at this one, again, negative 2 minus a positive 5. Subtracting positive the 5 is the same as adding negative 5. Then I can use my rules for addition. I have a negative plus a negative, which means the signs are the same, so I just add them together like normal, and it's just negative 7. Okay? Now these ones look a little bit weirder. Minus a negative. The way I can think about this is think about the negative sign as opposite, or the subtraction sign is opposite. So 5, the opposite of negative 2. Well, what's the opposite of negative 2? Well, it's positive 2. So this is actually the same as just 5 plus 2. When I have two negatives next to each other, it's like the opposite of the negative, so it becomes a positive. And this is just 7. The opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So it's just 2 plus 5, which is 7. Again, this minus a negative, the opposite of a negative, they cancel each other out. When I look at this question, negative 5 minus negative 2. Okay, the negative 5 I don't do anything with because then there's only one negative in front of it. But the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. So this becomes negative 5 plus 2. Well, now let's think about our rules for addition. If I have one negative and one positive, I'm going to subtract. So 5 minus 2 is 3. And I have 5 negatives and I have 2 positives. So it has to be negative 3. Okay, again, one negative, one positive, I subtracted what I'm adding. And I have more negatives, so the answer is negative. Okay, looking at the last problem, negative 2 minus negative 5, the opposite of negative 5. So again, I'm going to take this as the opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So negative 2 plus 5, I'm doing addition now. One's negative, one's positive, so I subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. And when I look, I have 5 positives or 2 negatives, so there's more positives, so it's positive 3. So as you're dealing with subtraction, remember that subtracting a positive number is the same as adding a negative number. That's the first thing, and then you can use your rules for addition. The second thing is if you have minus and negative, that's the opposite of a negative, and the double negative goes away and turns into a plus sign. But remember, if the number in front is also negative, that negative sign isn't affected. It's only those two that are right next to each other. Okay? I hope this helps, and have a great day.